The Anguished Man is a chilling painting that believed to be cursed. It was inherited by a British man named Sean Robinson from his grandmother, who had kept it locked away for years. She claimed the painting was evil, and that the artist had mixed his own blood into the paint before dying by suicide shortly after finishing it. When Sean brought the painting into his home, he and his family allegedly experienced a wave of disturbing paranormal activity.
Shinobu, you don't look so good.
Run! She's a ghost and a bitch!
Including eerie whispers, shadowy figures, cold spots, and even a sensation of being watched. He later posted videos online that appeared to show the painting moving on its own, and strange sounds occurring in the middle of the night. Though skeptics say it's a hoax, others believe the Anguished Man is one of the most haunted artworks in existence, a true cursed object with a dark past. Hi there, my name is Zane and welcome to Deep Dive, the show where we explore the internet's darkest and weirdest mysteries and phenomenons. If you're new here, drop-kick that sub button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any future episodes. Today, we're taking a look at the cursed item Iceberg, and trust me, it gets weird. So if you're into the dark and mysterious, stab that like button. That way, we know that we should make more videos like this one. Okay, cool. Now back to the video. Annabelle is a famously haunted doll at the center of one of the most chilling paranormal cases ever recorded. In 1970, a nursing student received the doll, a Raggedy Ann, as a gift. Not long after, she and her roommate began noticing it moving positions on its own, and finding disturbing notes written on the parchment paper saying things like, "Help me." Even more unsettling, what looked like blood appeared on the doll's hand and chest. Frightened, the woman contacted paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens concluded that the doll wasn't haunted by a child spirit, as the girls initially thought, but rather manipulated by a demonic entity trying to possess a human host. They took the doll and placed it in a locked glass case in their occult museum in Connecticut, where it remains today, surrounded by warnings and blessed regularly. Visitors who mocked or disrespected the doll have reportedly faced serious accidents or even death, adding to Annabelle's sinister reputation. Although the real doll is a soft, innocent-looking Raggedy Ann, Hollywood reimagined her as a porcelain nightmare in the Conjuring universe, spawning a trilogy of horror films. Whether you believe it or not, Annabelle remains one of the most notorious cursed objects in the world, and definitely not the kind you want in your bedroom. Busby's stoop chair, also known as the dead man's chair, is allegedly a cursed piece of furniture linked to a gruesome 18th century murder. In 1702, a man named Thomas Busby was executed for killing his father-in-law, Daniel Orty, supposedly after the argument involving that very chair. As the story goes, Busby cursed the chair before his hanging, declaring that anyone who sat in it would meet a swift and untimely death. Over the centuries, that warning seemed to come true again and again. During World War II, airmen who sat in the chair at the Busby Stoop Inn reportedly never returned from their missions. In the decades that followed, multiple people who dared to sit in it died shortly afterward. From car crashes, falls, heart attacks, and even freak accidents. Some estimates claim the chair caused over 60 deaths. By the 1970s, the pub landlord had enough. Fearing more fatalities, he donated the chair to the Thirsk Museum, but only under the condition that no one could ever sit in it again. The museum staff agreed and suspended the chair high on a wall, where it remains today well out of reach. Skeptics have since pointed out the chair may have been made in the 1800s, long after Busby's death, suggesting the curse may be more folklore than act, but believers still say, cursed or not, it's better left untouched. The Black Prince Ruby is one of the most famous gemstones in the British Crown Jewels, and one of the most mysterious. Despite its name, it isn't a ruby at all, but a massive red spinel, roughly the size of a chicken egg, with a long blood-soaked history. Its story begins in the 14th century Spain, where it allegedly belonged to a Muslim prince, who was brutally murdered by King Pedro the Cruel of Castile during a supposed peace negotiation. The gem was taken from the dead man's corpse and later gifted to Edward of Woodstock, better known as the Black Prince. After helping Pedro win a battle, that's when the curse supposedly took root. Edward died young, never becoming king. The gem passed to Richard II, who was eventually overthrown and murdered, then to Henry IV, and later to Henry V, who famously wore it in his helmet at the Battle of Agincourt. There he was nearly killed when an enemy soldier struck him in the head with an axe. The jewel is said to have saved his life, but it didn't break the chain of misfortune. Over the centuries, the stone passed through the hands of monarchs who faced betrayal, early death, or downfall. During the English Civil War, it vanished briefly only to reappear after the monarchy was restored. Today, the Black Prince ruby sits at the center of the imperial state crown, worn by British monarchs during state ceremonies. Whether it's cursed or just steeped in centuries of royal drama, one thing's clear: this ruby has seen more than its share of blood and betrayal. The Iceberg box is one of the most infamous, allegedly haunted objects of the 21st century. A small, antique-looking wine cabinet said to contain a malevolent spirit from Jewish folklore known as a Iceberg, a restless, vengeful soul that clings to the living. The legend began in 2003 when antiques dealer Kevin Mannis listed the box on eBay. He claimed it had belonged to a Holocaust survivor who used it to trap the Iceberg after summoning it during a seance. After acquiring the box, Mannis and others reported terrifying experiences: strange odors or jasmine and cat urine, nightmares, shadowy figures, and unexplained illness. Every new owner claimed something bad followed: car crashes, health issues, financial ruin. The box eventually came into the hands of museum curator Jason Haxton, who added it to its mystique by reporting similar supernatural phenomena. The story grew so big, it inspired the 2012 horror film The Possession and even drew the attention of rapper Post Malone, who was reportedly cursed after touching the box during a visit to Zach Bagans' haunted museum. Afterward, he suffered a string of bizarre misfortunes, including a plane emergency and a car crash. But in 2021, Mannis admitted the entire backstory was fabricated. He had made the whole thing up as a creative writing experiment. Even so, the Iceberg box had already become a cultural phenomenon, a modern legend born on the internet and fueled by fear, suggestion, and media hype. Today it sits sealed behind glass in Las Vegas, still creeping out visitors and racking up stories of eerie experiences, whether the curse is real or not. The Gold of Tolosa is a legendary treasure from ancient Gaul, shrouded in mystery and misfortune. In 106 BCE, Roman proconsul Quintus Servilius Caepio discovered a vast hoard of gold and silver near the city of Tolosa. The treasure was believed to have been looted from the temple of Apollo at Delphi by the Volcae Tectosages, a Celtic tribe. However, some ancient sources dispute this origin, suggesting the treasure was locally sourced and possibly hidden in sacred lakes near Tolosa. Despite orders to send the treasure to Rome, it mysteriously disappeared en route. The convoy was ambushed and the guards were slain, with the treasure vanishing without a trace. Some historians speculate that Caepio himself orchestrated the theft, while others believe the treasure was reclaimed by the local Gauls or hidden to protect it from Roman hands. The aftermath of the treasure's disappearance was disastrous for Caepio. In 105 BCE, he suffered a catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Arausio, one of Rome's worst military disasters. Subsequently, he was stripped of his citizenship, fined, and exiled to Smyrna, where he died in disgrace. The legend of the Gold of Tolosa has endured through the centuries, with many viewing it as a cautionary tale about the corrupting influence of greed and the consequences of sacrilege. The phrase aurum Tolosanum became synonymous with ill-gotten wealth leading to ruin. Today, the fate of the Gold of Tolosa remains one of the history's enduring mysteries, its legend continuing to captivate the imagination. The Hope Diamond is one of the most famous and allegedly cursed gemstones in the world. Weighing at 45.52 carats, this deep blue diamond has storied history filled with tragedy and intrigue. Its journey began in 1666 when French gem merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier acquired the diamond in India. He sold it to King Louis XIV of France, who had it recut into the French blue and set it into the French crown jewels. The diamond's troubles began shortly after, with rumors that Tavernier was torn apart by wild dogs in Constantinople, where he met a gruesome end. During the French Revolution, the French blue was stolen, and its fate remained unknown for several decades. In the early 19th century, the diamond resurfaced in London and eventually came into the possession of Henry Philip Hope, a British banker, in 1839. The diamond was thereafter known as the Hope Diamond. Over the years, its owners experienced various misfortunes. Lord Francis Hope, a descendant of Henry Philip Hope, was forced to sell the diamond in 1901 due to financial troubles. The diamond changed hands several times before being purchased by American socialite Evelyn Walsh McLean in 1912. McLean's life was marked by personal tragedies, including the death of her son and the collapse of her family's newspaper empire. In 1949, McLean's heirs sold the diamond to jeweler Harry Winston, who donated it to the Smithsonian Institution in 1958. The diamond is currently displayed at the National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C., where it continues to captivate visitors with its beauty and the dark tales surrounding its history. Whether the Hope Diamond is truly cursed remains a matter of debate, but its legacy is undeniably one of fascination and mystery. So which objects do you think is the most terrifying? Let us know in the comments below. And if you watched the video to this point, subscribe because you'll definitely like our next video. Until next time, I'm Zane, and this has been Deep Dive.